Said I got a bad case of brain fog. So I'ma take my butt home. So I'ma take my butt home.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Overruled at a very special time. It's actually not so special because it's going to be this time from now on, 7:30 Eastern on Sundays. Yes, we're bumping back the time. And I have a very special guest joining me tonight, KFARR. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hey.
I assume most people here know you since we stream together once a week for the last, I don't know, year or something like that. But KFAR is my co-host for Booze and Body Cams on Wednesday nights. But since I was talking about a woman today who had sovereign citizen tendencies, I decided to invite KFAR on to talk about this woman. Had you heard of Korryn Gaines before I emailed you about this?
So, yes and no. When you emailed me about it, I'm like, I have no idea who this is. And then you sent me the video, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly who this is. And then, like I said, last night I started doing a little bit more research, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is for sure who I think it is.
Very, very sovereign citizen-y. And actually, I want to thank Johnny Walker Dredd, who is in the chat. He's the one that sent this my way. And I believe it was one of his videos that I sent you to take a look at. He covers this sort of stuff too. So everybody go subscribe to Johnny Walker Dredd. He's got a great channel over there as well. So Korryn Gaines, I guess we'll just jump right into it. This is going to be a little different from the Booze and Body Camps episode that you all are used to watching KFAR and I do together.
Oh, here. Let me bring it up right now.
Okay.
If I disappear, if me and Dexter disappear randomly, it's because the power is out everywhere near me. So if the power goes out, I more than likely will not be back for today. But yeah.
Y'all need to super chat KFAR to get some backup batteries. So that way, if the power does go out, he can stream for another minute or two to let you guys know. I know I have my modem and my whole system here on a backup battery. So I have about 30 minutes. If the power goes out, I can like wrap stuff up. Anyway. Also, by the way, the dogs are all here tonight as well. So if you do super chat either KFAR or myself, we will be doling out the milk bones, of course, as always.
Yeah, I moved the Dexter cam to where Dexter normally is, only for him to go to where I just moved it from. So
yep,
he's here. He's over here instead of over here.
He's camera shy, that's all. So Korryn Shandon Gaines was born on August 24th of 1993 in Randallstown, Maryland. And Korryn, she had an older sister and an older brother, and she had one younger sibling, a sister who was adopted. Her mom and stepdad adopted a child that was in need, whose parents got into some trouble, and her mom and stepdad ended up adopting this young girl. From the time the little one was like a baby, so like basically her whole life was part of this family. So she graduated. So I was listening to some interviews with Korryn's mom, and Korryn's mom described her as a child as feisty and a smart mouth, which if anybody has kids, there's always one of them in a group that's a feisty smart mouth. Am I right? Did you got one of those over there?
Feisty and smart mouth would be the... Doesn't even scratch the surface of this chick.
Well, that's how her mom described her as a child. So maybe her feisty and smart mouthness grew. as she got older, right? As we'll see, I got some
Oh yeah, it was on steroids as she
I
grew.
got some videos. I've got some videos we're gonna play in a minute. So Korryn graduated from Baltimore City College in 2010, and she started working as a hairstylist. And by all accounts, she loved this profession. She loved making people feel beautiful. She loved her job. She loved what she did, and she did go to school for it. And it seemed like it was her calling. Also, she loved doing poetry, and she went to these spoken word events. Have you heard of these things?
Unfortunately, yes, I have.
I have a little bit of her spoken word pulled up if we want to listen to it. Should we play it?
It's actually funny. What's it called? This is like me playing that the Moor from Florida. When he started shooting at the cops, I started playing his rap music because I know he wasn't going to copyright strike me.
Yeah, so let's hear just a little bit of her poetry, spoken word type stuff. So I just want you guys to get a feel of who this person is.
Gives you something to hold on to that should never run out like a pencil. The paper offers manifestation and the eraser offers perfection. So now when I asked myself in high school, why was it necessary? So now when I asked myself why in high school it was necessary to have pen and paper, unlike the pencils in elementary school, I understand that it created an illusion that there was only one way to be perfect, when there are infinite ways of perfection in all times at one. But the perfection of truth can never be non-existent. But continuous. If every so-called mistake can't be fixed, it takes away the possibilities, which would mean that one has run out of paper. So the lead no longer matters, and the eraser becomes the imagination instead of creation. Your imagination is nothing without creation. Writing with this pencil tells me that if you keep erasing enough, you'll need another sheet of paper.
Okay, so that's just a little taste. Just a little taste.
Oh my God.
So
I just looked. That's an hour and 11 minutes.
This is actually, it was part of a interview with her family.
Of a whole, okay.
This wasn't all spoken word. This was just, as I was doing my research, this was her brother and her mother were interviewed by this outlet. And it was very interesting. This is where, it's DCP Entertainment. This is where I got those quotes about her mom calling her a smart mouth as a child, was from this. A very interesting interview. It was kind of like when I visited Cuba in 2015 and I went to one of their museums and I saw what they were offering up as how the Cold War happened and like the Cuban Missile Crisis happened, like Cuba's version of it compared to what we learned in school. Very similar vibes with this interview. Like what I know to be true or what I think to be true from reading the police reports and listening to that version of events and then hearing what her family said, it was very similar vibes. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So another thing, do you remember Freddie Gray? Do you remember when that happened?
It's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
A long time. So when the Freddie Gray thing happened, this happened in Baltimore as well. And this is, where Korryn was from. So it really affected her. And she started posting on her Facebook page a lot of this Black Lives Matter, police brutality. She spoke out a lot about police violence after this Freddie Gray thing happened. And just to refresh everyone's memory, I'm going to play this video from when the Freddie Gray thing happened. So you guys kind of get a feel of the era that we were in. This is the time in this country that we were in. This is what was happening.
We report from Baltimore, where the governor of Maryland has declared a state of emergency, and the mayor of Baltimore has announced a week-long curfew beginning tomorrow night, a curfew that cannot come soon enough. Tonight, we have witnessed lawlessness and chaos on the streets as the violence escalates despite calls for peace. All this in the wake of today's funeral for a young man who died of severe injuries while in police custody. Baltimore is burning After a day of looting and rioters clashing violently with police, tonight a community center in flames.
I think,
lights up
like,
the city.
after going through the Summer of Love in 2020, people forget that this has been happening for a long time.
What the-
People forget about
the
this part of the
rioting
history.
and
Yeah.
pillaging and burning down your own
Exactly.
city.
Exactly.
makes a great
People
point.
forget that this is the history that we're coming from.
As police and community activists try and take back the streets,
In my neighborhood.
lost to chaos earlier today. Rioters armed with gas mats, appearing ready for a fight. The police force under siege, at least 15 officers injured. The mayor taking to the streets tonight to condemn those responsible.
Baltimore is much better than what you're seeing today.
But as the fires continue to burn, people here left asking if the police have done enough and whether this violence is really about the death of 25-year-old Freddie Gray. On Sunday, April 12th, Gray was taken into police custody. The arrest once again captured by a bystander's cell phone.
That boy leg look broke.
Gray seemingly in pain and screaming, unable to walk, as officers drag him into a transport van. Reportedly, when he arrived at the police station a half hour later, he was unable to breathe or talk. Medics rushed him to the hospital. A few days later, he slipped into a coma and then later died from a severe spinal injury. So far, there have been more questions than answers regarding his death. It's still unclear why Gray was arrested. According to the police report, Gray fled unprovoked upon noticing police presence. But the bigger question tonight for investigators and the public, what happened to him in the moments right after he was taken into custody? Protesters claim Gray may have been put through what's known.
By the way, if the police pull up somewhere and somebody starts running unprovoked, they're going to chase him down and figure out why he's running. That's why Freddie Gray was put into custody.
William, you make a great point. I'm not sure what looting sneaker stores has to do with human rights. Your guess is as good as mine.
No idea.
In Baltimore as a rough ride. Officers allegedly using sudden stops and sharp turns to injure suspects. Commissioner Anthony Batts confirming that Gray was not wearing a seatbelt. 6 Baltimore officers have been suspended with pay while the police carry out a criminal investigation. And investigators still searching for this man seen in surveillance video released overnight, calling him a potential witness. Today, Gray was laid to rest. At his funeral, his family, pastors, the community leaders called for peace. But the calls have not been heeded by some. After 10 days of peaceful protest.
This is a grieving family that deserves answers for their son.
Today, a small group of agitators became violent, targeting police with bricks and burning abandoned squad cars. 2 officers remain hospitalized. Local businesses also in looters' destructive path. The police response growing over the day. Protective measures taken. The Orioles baseball game canceled, and a citywide curfew in place tomorrow starting at 10 p.m. Public school closed tomorrow. And tonight, many in the community attempting to reclaim the streets.
Together we united.
And just hours ago, more than 200 ministers and community leaders joined together to march, crying out for peace and condemning the actions of a small and angry few.
Equal justice for everybody, not just for whoever.
And the church where Freddie Gray was mourned earlier today, transformed into Command Central for those who want to put the fires out. A mix of ministers and men young and old. It is a rare meeting of the spirit and the street of Baltimore who have come together to bring calm to their city. But the numbers on the street tonight are telling of the deep...
It's kind of crazy to me that these people showed up at the peace thing at the church still wearing their Bloods bandanas.
The stuff they were looting in 20 minutes before.
They had the red bandanas on. Like, you're still representing your gang, but you're calling for peace? What are we doing here?
This is the thing that I never necessarily understand about moments and shit like this. A gang does a drive-by, kills a 4-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
0. Like, I don't know. Weapons is saying this Freddie Gray guy wasn't the greatest human being on the planet. I'll go with that. But it's like he dies and the whole world starts looting everywhere, burning everything. And the peaceful protest, when a few agitators, it was like 50 people.
And they cause more death. I know the one that happened here, not the one, there's many that happened here, but one that happened here in the Atlanta metro area was that Wendy's that burned down. Because the guy grabbed the cop's taser, shot the taser at the cops. Then they were protesting and burned this. Yeah, and then
where's BSBT going to work if you burn down the Wendy's? You know what I'm saying?
But while they were protesting, there was a person who had their kids in the back of the car and made a wrong turn into the protest and tried to leave, tried to turn around and get out of there. And their kid ended up getting shot in the back of their car. You said a 4-year-old kid gets shot. I believe it was a 4-year-old little girl that got shot. I might be wrong on the age, but I think it was a 4-year-old. It's crazy. It's not helping anything.
Nope.
And now where are you going to get your Frosties from? There's no Wendy's there anymore.
Nope. Wendy's did nothing
documented
wrong.
tension.
Exactly. Seriously, in that case, though, all Wendy's did, they were mad at Wendy's because Wendy's called the cops because the dude fell asleep in their drive-through line. He was in the drive-through line and fell asleep behind the wheel. So the Wendy's called the cops and said, "Hey, there's a drunk dude in our drive-through line. Could you come, get him out of here?"
Take care of it.
That's what Wendy's did wrong in that situation.
Heaven forbid they call the cops on a drunk driver.
I know, right?
Republic and police. When I was in Baltimore last year, I spent several days and nights on the streets with police. I had a first-hand look at the palpable distrust between the public and police.
What role, if any, does race play in that dynamic here in Baltimore?
We absolutely have to let race go. Like we often joke that when nobody's white, nobody's black, we're all blue.
Excuse me. I did speak, and I did ask you a question, right?
They don't look at us as people. They just see the uniform and see police officers.
The people, the innocent bystanders, and I mean like the pedestrians that want to stand around and walk through, we get harassed the most.
Baltimore is different than Ferguson, Missouri, and New York, where the deaths of black men at the hands of police cause unrest. The tension here isn't just about race. The police department is 41% black. The police commissioner and the mayor, both African American. And look at this. One of the many cameras set up across the city captures a black police officer punching a black man. The officer was charged with assault and is now on leave. The latest in a series of...
The officer was charged with assault. So the officer assaulted somebody and was charged with assault. So why do we need the riots? What for?
Because some people need some new shoes and TVs. What are you talking about? They have all these Molotov cocktails. What are they supposed to do with them?
Exactly. Trucker 70, I'm so sorry to hear about Heinz. Trucker's dog Heinz crossed the Rainbow Bridge Saturday morning. We are definitely praying for Heinz and for you and your family, for sure. I'll be devastated. I mean, I've lost pets before, and it's devastating every time. But for whatever reason, Zena and I have a very strong connection, and when that happens, I will be devastated. That is Ava, though. Zena, wake up. Could you catch? Zena actually caught it for Heinz. Did you see that?
Over here, my dude. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now he's a shark.
Do you think he'll stay in frame? No, not at all.
Nah, he's already back over here.
All right, let's watch the last couple minutes of this and we'll get back to Korryn.
Questionable encounters. The city of Baltimore has paid out $5.7 million in the last 4 years to settle more than 100 cases of alleged police brutality.
Is it black and white or is it black versus blue?
I think it's a little bit of both.
That legacy of race still exists.
It does.
Okay, can we pause it for 3 seconds?
Trust has
Yes.
Because the wording of that pissed me off. So everyone knows that settling is cheaper than taking it all the way to the end of the lawsuit. They paid out that much money for alleged police brutality, which means if they paid out the loss or they paid out the settlement and the officer's like, did I do anything wrong or did I not do anything wrong? Because they got the settlement. So now everyone thinks I was in the wrong. Like, what is it? Like, I need these lawsuits to go to the end so we can have a definite yay or nay instead of leaving it in limbo for ABC News.
Well, and police departments do this over and over and over again. They need to stop settling these cases because at the end of the day, it's just showing the next person that it's a money grab free for all for whoever wants $1.
Exactly.
Because they're gonna settle. And it it lends it lends to all of these people with their cameras on their monopods begging for a lawsuit that you cover on your channel over and over again, just filming police begging for a lawsuit because they see that the police departments are going to settle.
Yeah, even if they're 1000% in the wrong, 9 times out of 10 they'll get some sort of settlement.
Yeah, here's $5,000, go away,
Yeah, and then it's going to be an NDA where nobody can talk about it. So it's like, were they wrong? Were they right? Who knows?
Well, and because there's a settlement, then the people with the cameras who are harassing police can tell their audience, see, I was right. They gave me money. They wouldn't have given me money if I wasn't right. Yeah, they give everybody money though. So you weren't right.
Increased, but it continues to take dips down. A lot of people are doing the sort of things that need to be done.
Kwesi Infumi, like me, grew up in Baltimore. A high school dropout and now the former head of the NAACP, he's seen the city from many vantage points.
We had some tough police commissioners who would bust your head, throw you in jail, plant drugs on you, lock you up for no reason.
Yeah, Camden Park, that's over here. This area is gorgeous.
When we spoke this summer, Police Commissioner Anthony Batts was working to change that narrative.
I think in certain parts of the community, we're seen as occupying army. We got to be honest and open about that, and we got to change that. And what I have to do is give the officers the skills and the abilities to start shifting and changing that, opening up conversations, communication, and you hear me say this a lot, and listen to the people.
But in a city with such a tumultuous history, these conversations take time. And today it seems the rioters in Baltimore aren't interested in this conversation. Tonight, much of the violence is concentrated in just a few neighborhoods in West Baltimore where demonstrators have blocked off the street by setting police cars and debris on fire. Police officers in riot gear standing guard. It was Dr. Martin Luther King who said in 1966, the riot is the language of the unheard. Tonight, city officials in Baltimore and the clergy are listening.
So it really is odd to me that these news reporters seemed unbothered that their city is being burned to the ground. Like,
that's just one of those things where, like, if my neighborhood was on fire, I'd be freaking out. You would be calling me in Korean because I would be on my rooftop. Like,
exactly.
I just don't get it. At what point does, hey, you know how we're going to show them that they should start acting right? We burn down our own city, making the entire situation worse. Because just get the ball rolling here. This happens. One guy dies. You riot, steal things from stores. The stores leave. You burn the stores down. The stores leave. Everyone loses their job. Crime increases because nobody has any jobs. And then you're still going to say police bad. And it's like, you're the ones who, caused $2 billion worth of damage and force everyone to leave.
Well, and what I think a lot of people forget is there's regular families, there's grandmas who live in these neighborhoods. There's, people that are just want to go to work, collect their paycheck, pay their rent, pay their mortgage, and have a peaceful life. And they can't do that when people are burning down their neighborhoods. They're gang banging, and when they're not gang banging, they're burning down the neighborhoods, one or the other.
Well, yeah, like you said, they were repping their gang in a church.
Trying
to say they
calling
were about peace. It's like, so are you about peace all the time or just right now? Like, is this interrupting you selling drugs? Like, what are we doing?
That's probably what it is. It's interrupting the business. So they want the riots to calm down so they can get back to slinging rocks on the corner.
It's just, we've seen it so many times. And like Weapons said that he was there at this time. They got mad and protested that the stores didn't come back. You burned them down and robbed them blind. Like, why? If you were losing all of your product every single day by people stealing everything, let's just move to a different city where nobody steals anything.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Economist KFARR.
What we just saw was what Korryn Gaines saw when the Freddie Gray thing happened. People were in an uproar. They, and honestly, I didn't research the Freddie Gray case, but from what I can remember is he was in the back of like a paddy wagon and hit his head when they went around a corner too fast. or something like that. Like, it's not like the cops beat him and then he died. It's that he had a rough ride on the way to the police department, which I'm not saying that the cops didn't slam on their brakes. Like, I imagine if somebody's mouthing off in the back, you tap the brakes a little bit to, get them to calm down back there. But unfortunately, they tapped the brakes a little too hard with that one. So on her Facebook page, she became... Sorry, go ahead.
It just reminds me of, I don't know if you watched Yellowstone or not.
No.
One of the livestock officers got two guys that were stealing horses or cattle, put them in the cattle trailer, and was blah, 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 blah. And then when they got done, they went in the back and they're like, oh shit, these guys are dead.
Wow.
And it's just like, probably
same thing happened to Freddie Gray.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, and yeah, that's terrible. But is it really worth burning down your entire city and setting your city back 50 years?
I don't think so, but I'm not them. So I think there's probably more productive ways to get things
It's
done.
because you have rumor has it, an IQ above room temperature.
Last I checked.
Yeah.
Last I checked it.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Who knows? Some people would probably argue with that. I'm sure we'll hear about it at 2 a.m.
Oh, 1000%.
So her Facebook page became increasingly anti-police, and she started sharing sovereign citizen and Moorish American propaganda. I'm not sure which she was, or if she was both, or if she was just getting into it. But can you please let the people know I'm going to dare to say, expert on sovereign citizens and Moorish Americans. You cover them a lot on your channel.
I would say that from the video that I watched, she didn't say anything technically Moorish, I would say. Like, I didn't hear her repping Morocco or Moorish American anything, or a Mexum or Turtle Island or any of that jazz.
Well, and the reason why I bring up the Moorish American is because that interview with her family, her brother mentioned Moorish Americans. So I didn't know if maybe they were confused on the difference as well.
So because they're basically, I wouldn't say necessarily intertwined, because Moorish Americans kind of like a slight deviation from the sovereign citizen tree. So they use slightly different rhetoric when talking about basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Where, she may have grabbed something from a Moor and said it, and that's just was like, oh, she's Moorish.
Could be. Shows all of this propaganda. She would make videos about all of the different police incidents that happened. Unfortunately, Facebook disabled her account while this was going on. What the incident on August 1st was going on. So unless somebody had grabbed it, there's a couple of things that were grabbed beforehand, but not much, and it's scrubbed from the internet now. But she did have 2 kids, Cody and Carson. The oldest, Cody, was also injured the day that Korryn was killed, which is just so sad. I think that's the saddest part of this whole story, is the kid, the brainwashing of the children that we'll see here in a minute.
It's so crazy that she would. This is going to be another not controversial thing for me saying to my audience. Maybe your audience feels a different way. Sovereign citizens are like notoriously terrible parents, to the point where, like, none of them have their kids. They not only do they not have custody of their kids, in most cases, like, they're not even allowed to be anywhere near their children.
Yeah.
I mean, I know someone personally, not pointing any elbows, BSBT, how you doing? But, like, they're notoriously terrible parents. And then she's just like, hold my beer.
What's interesting is the last one that we covered together like this on my show was that guy that got it from his mom, and he ended up getting shot. Chase Allen? What's his name, I think?
Could be Chase Allen. Sounds right. Chase something. Where his mom like literally dragged him to court and was trying to use the sovereign citizen shit. And then, oh, shocker, he got pulled over. And from, I've seen it a million times, it seemed like a completely reasonable traffic stop. They're like, hey, let me get that ID. Let me hold that ID. And then he tried to throw a fit and then was like, oh, you want to pull me out of the car? Here's my gun. And that was the last move he ever made.
Yep. So she ends up getting pulled over, and she's got both of her kids in the car, and she's got a cardboard license. This is why she got pulled over. She had a cardboard license plate on the back of her car that said, and I quote, "Any government official who compromises this pursuit of happiness and right to travel will be held criminally responsible and fined, as this is a natural right and freedom." Seems like a lot to put on a license plate, but she managed to do it.
Really small font. It's just like, I'm sorry, if you put that on the back of your car as the license plate, it just screams, please pull me over, I'm an idiot.
Yep. And she was nice enough to film this for us, so we're going to watch it now. This is the only one that I could find the full recording. Sorry, go ahead.
When did this take place? 2016?
2016,
2015?
yes. 2016.
I'm just curious if there were any, like, now we have so many people covering sovereign citizens, Moors. The video I put out today was a world citizen, which is the first time I've ever heard that. But I wonder if anybody that covers it now was actually covering this when this happened.
Maybe.
Because if this happened in 2025, 10 channels would cover this within 15 hours.
Yep. Now this is the only recording I could find of the full thing unedited. I found lots of clips different places, and for some reason it skips every so often. It like repeats itself every so often. So I apologize for that, but this is the version that we're going to watch because I want the most context that we can possibly have for this. And then just let me know if you want me to pause it to interject. Oh, good.
How you have a child.
I don't know why it did that. It skipped.
And so it begins.
Yeah. Like really, the getting pulled over and purposely turning up the music thing is a very big pet peeve of mine. What are you doing? Like, why are you doing that?
I don't remember if she rolled down her window all the way, but this is kind of like, you're not going to roll the window down all the way. You're going to try to talk through a hole this big on the side of the road with your music jacked up. Like, oh, and then you're going to get mad when the officer says, I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
I'm sorry, who are you? Can you please identify yourself, please? Do you have a delegation of authority order?
Give me driver's license registration.
Am I free to go? No. Is there a crime being committed?
It's 11. You tell me one more. Yeah, you don't have a driver's license. You don't have a tag.
Okay, who are you?
I am the Baltimore County Police Department.
Okay, so you.
I am the Baltimore County Police Department.
Okay, so let me inform you of who I am.
Who are you?
I do not participate in any of you guys' side laws and things like that. I don't participate in that. You are not. I don't participate in that.
I can't imagine a cop asking me for my license and registration, and my first words out of my mouth is saying, "Am I free to go?" Obviously not. Obviously, you're not free to go.
If they pulled you over, you're clearly not free to go on the first word.
Yeah.
So I looked up just for shit, delegation of authority order. And the first thing that popped up was 46 U.S. Code. Oh, God. 80506.
Okay.
And it literally, the secretary of the department in which the Coast Guard is operating. And I'm just like, well, that's clearly nonsense what this traffic stop is. I mean, she probably thinks she's traveling in her land vessel, but that doesn't have anything to do with the Coast Guard.
One of the things her mom said in an interview that I listened to was it probably surprised the police that she was so knowledgeable and smart on the laws, and they're probably not used to that, and that's what made them mad. It just kind of cracked me up a little bit.
Well, clearly we see where she got her stupidity from.
I don't know
her mother.
Her mom was a registered nurse, so you have to have some sort of intelligence to go through nursing school and pass nursing
To be
school,
fair,
right?
To be fair, there is a actual doctor in the frauditing community, and he's a fucking moron.
Okay.
So, yeah, I have never met a sovereign citizen and been like, damn, that guy's a genius. Not once.
Okay.
I always think, damn, I've never seen someone with a single-digit IQ before.
You are not authorized.
Let me see your driver's license, or I'll have to arrest you. And I don't know what you're going to do with your children.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're going to arrest me for what now?
Because I have to be able to identify. You don't have any tag on.
Sir, you have delegation of... Sure.
Okay.
And a
then will you
delegation
give
of
me your
authority
driver's license?
order.
And then will you give me your driver's license?
Listen, I already told you I don't
If you don't believe
participate.
I'm a police officer, here you
Listen.
go.
Okay.
Let me show you my driver's.
And you also have your delegation of authority order, correct?
My identify. You don't have any tag on.
Sir, you have yet to identify yourself.
I'm a Baltimore County police officer.
Okay, can I see some ID, please?
What kind of ID would you like?
I would like to see a picture of you and also
wanna
a
see my
delegation
police
of... Sure.
Okay.
And a
And then will you
delegation
give
of
me your driver's
authority
license?
order.
And then will you give me my driver's
That is what authorizes you to be in... Okay, now that's not a delegation of authority order.
This is my police ID issued by Baltimore County.
I understand that.
Do you have a driver's license or not?
Sir,
Yes.
do you have a delegation of authority
What is
order?
a delegation of authority order? Tell me, explain that to me.
That is what authorized you to enforce the law. And
Delegation, let me look for it for you real quick.
okay, it would not be that size. And
Delegation, let me look for it for you real quick.
okay, it would not be that size.
How big would it be?
It would be something that you would
How
have
about my
to carry.
Maryland Police Training Commission certificate and
No,
training
sir.
standards?
Delegation of authority order. It's something.
I would pull out my cuffs and say, found it.
Like,
that's what I would do.
What is she? So, what did you say? Delegation of authority was? What is she even talking about?
Authority order.
Some
and
maritime law.
The only thing that I could get to really anything that's legal, when you look it up, it gives you like the AI overview of what you asked it.
Yeah.
And then the first thing that comes up is Cornell Law School, 46 U.S. Code 80506. And it literally is like the Coast Guard.
Wow.
They've also tried to do this with judges. And most judges are like, yeah, you're an asshole. Have fun in jail for 30 days for contempt. Good luck.
Yeah. Somebody gifted a membership on your channel. Let's give
Beamstock. One of the greatest names on YouTube. Beamstock.
Let's see. There they
are. Johnny Walker Dredd also points out something. Please remember, this was in 2016. Cops had little experience with soft sits.
That's true,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I didn't think about
like,
that.
Even now, not many cops deal with it every day. So
Mhm.
some people have no idea. But then other officers are like, oh, I've seen two of you today.
Yeah.
There you go, Jaws.
Yeah, I think nowadays at least police officers may have seen it online. Like
Yeah, they've
YouTube
seen it
video or something.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Like they probably watched Donut Operator enough times to be like, oh, sovereign citizen bingo.
Yep.
I understand now.
Do you know who she is? Yeah.
Sir, can you identify yourself?
If I can't ID you, I have to arrest you. I don't understand.
Sir,
Just give me your license. I have to arrest you. I don't understand.
Sir,
Just give me your license.
Listen,
Yes.
you have yet to identify yourself.
I've
At
identified
this point in time, I don't know who you are.
I'm going to pause it another minute just so I don't miss this. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Actually, I'm going to go get the good treats from the other room for 10 gifted memberships. So I'll be right back. We'll let this play a second. We're getting the good treats.
And why you're pulling me over. You are
Turn
not.
this car off. Turn this car off.
Sir, can you identify yourself?
I'm telling you.
You are not.
Turn this car off. Turn this car off.
Sir, can you identify yourself?
I'm telling you one more time. Turn the car off.
Sir,
Otherwise,
can
I'm
you
gonna take
identify yourself? Okay. He's turning my
Get
car
out of the car.
off. No, I'm not complying to that. Turning my
Get
car
out of the
off.
car.
No, I'm not
You have a
complying
driver.
to that. Listen, I'm not
So you wanna
complying
be
to that.
arrested?
Here's my. I own this vehicle.
So you want to be arrested? You have a child in the backseat. I'm trying
No,
to help
I
you
understand that.
out. Do you? I mean, do you want me? How?
I understand that.
Do you? I mean, do you want me? How? You have
Listen,
a child. Think,
listen. I
think,
don't want to be
think.
arrested. That's number one.
Then do what
All
I
I'm
asked,
asking
please. I'm
you
working
for-
with you. I showed you my police ID. I
Right.
don't have to do that, but I did it because I'm working with you.
Sir,
okay? You don't
you're
have a tag on the
you're calling
vehicle.
me.
In Maryland, you
This
have to
is-
have a registered motor vehicle to drive.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're gonna do.
Okay. What are we gonna do?
And I'll explain
Help
to
me
you.
help you.
I'll explain to you
I'm listening. I'm all ears.
why I don't have a tag on my car.
Okay, well, that's all you had to say that from Jump Street, and we wouldn't have this. Okay, well, that's all you had to say that.
Okay, you guys hear how it keeps like skipping itself? It's
Yeah.
a little annoying, but
So
like I said, I want the
I know-
most context possible.
This is going to sound extremely harsh, but if they arrested her right here and her kids went to CPS,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been best case scenario.
Yeah. So we got the good treats. Thank you very much for 10 gifted memberships. That's amazing. Don't forget, people that receive these memberships, you can play in the game night next month. I'll let you know when that's going to be.
And if you guys do memberships for my channel, I put all of my content out early for members to watch it. That's all.
And
Come here, Dexter. I have one of these cool like treat things that I cut in half with my giant knife. Oh no. Oh no.
he's like, yes, please. Thank you very much. Awesome. Thank you so much for supporting our channels. I certainly appreciate it. KFARR appreciates it. Zena appreciates it. Ava definitely appreciates it.
Dexter gave up.
From Jump Street,
Dexter definitely appreciates it too.
we wouldn't have this problem.
No.
The only
I'm
reason
still
I'm
waiting for you to identify yourself.
Get what you gotta get.
Okay.
I've identified myself.
Now, this is who I am.
Okay.
You
Who are
can
you?
you can read that. The owner of this vehicle.
You are Miss Gaines. Okay. Do
The
you
owner of
have
this.
a Maryland? Or is this vehicle registered in Maryland? Do you
Yes,
have a license
listen,
plate?
it was.
Was okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm in the middle of suing you guys.
Okay.
In ECI, and they came and took my. I'm in the middle of suing you guys.
Okay.
In ECI, and they came and took my tags off of my car. My car was properly insured.
Who's ECI?
That's a Eastern Correctional Institution.
Eastern
Okay.
Correctional?
I'm in the middle of actually. Still has my car keys.
Get your stuff.
Why is it?
You know they're talking about stealing my vehicle. Can you give me mine?
Stay in the car.
I need to have my information.
Of course, she's not going to stay in the car. Well, it goes either way. She's either going to get out of the car or she's going to stay in the car with the windows up and the doors locked and get her window broken. One or the other. You can't have both.
I just don't understand. Like, maybe it's just I'm a good parent. I wouldn't do any of this dumb shit with my kids in the car. Like, oh,
No.
yes, I'm going to knowingly break the law, spit on the Constitution, and then get pissy when they talk about towing my car.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
I'm still using it.
For what? You said you
I gotta
already
write your
read my
ticket.
information.
I gotta write your ticket.
You don't have to write me any tickets. I won't be signing anything.
You don't have to
So
sign. They're all
okay,
on
you
copy.
have my information pulled up. I would like to have my ID
I'll give
and
it back to you in a
my
minute. I'll give it back to
car
you in
and
a
stuff,
minute. I will give it back to you.
and also my car keys.
And
Oh.
step back in the car. We'll give it to you when we're ready, all right?
Okay, well, how long would that be?
Waiting for the tow truck. So, waiting for the tow truck. So 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
If you get the kids out of the car, if you do all the
Oh no, I'm not. You won't be touching me or my children. No, they know not to give them to me too, cause I pull right off on their asses.
And now you know why they kept your keys.
Yeah.
This was being nice. This was being nice.
Did you hear the kid? He said at least they're being nice. The kid said. The kid sees it. The kid sees it. At least they're being nice.
Yeah, we gonna show this. These bitches gonna see a fight today. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that. They gonna have to kill me.
She called it.
In the business, we call that foreshadowing.
Yeah, she definitely called it. They gonna have to kill me.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, if I ever heard one.
Yeah, it's the poor kids. I can't get over how bad I feel for these children.
It's not like, oh, I'm fighting for people's rights. It's going to get me killed one day. And it's like, no. I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to go into it. But it's like you literally caused everything to happen from this point forward.
All of this, yeah.
OD, they tell you get out this car or take your seatbelt off. You do not get out this car. Do you understand? You better fight they asses. Fight them. Do you hear me? I'm not.
All right, man. Here's your citations. Okay.
You can keep them.
I don't know if y'all missed that, but she's telling her 5-year-old child to fight the police, which is just insane.
And CPS should have seen this video and went, man, we're going to need your kids because you are literally telling them to fight the police because you can't comprehend the law. Like,
I can't keep them. I have to give them to you.
No, I won't be accepting those.
All right.
You guys already.
You don't have to sign them. It doesn't mean you're guilty. It means,
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want them.
Okay, but I have to give them to you. So,
that
okay,
sucks.
But I have to give them to you. So here. I'll put them in your car for you. So there's on camera. Hey, you two people. All right, and this is your notice of advice. All right, you want to read this?
No, thank you.
I'll leave it with your copies. All right, you got it? Since you've been charged with citation, so you can read it at a later date.
I just want my
Here's
information.
your license back, and here's your...
Thank you. And where are my car keys?
We're waiting for the tow, okay? So I would right now get all your stuff out, okay?
Okay, where are my car keys?
We have to give them to the tow truck driver. We have to give them to the tow truck driver. We'll take the car key off and give you the rest of the keys, okay?
I want my car keys now. Okay.
No.
So what? If you don't get out when the tow truck driver...
Yeah, he's like, we're giving the keys to the tow truck driver. We'll give you the rest of your keys.
I want the key. I want the car keys now. And it's like, well, you just said, like, obviously the cops didn't know that she was going to like peel off on him or whatever the hell she said. So it's like, if she gets the keys, she's going to flee with her 2 young children in the car.
Yeah. Yep.
You'll be placed under arrest, okay?
Okay.
Placed under arrest, okay?
Okay.
And what do you...
Listen, you're not going to kidnap me, so get ready for what you can go ahead. Listen, you're not going to kidnap me. Okay. I've never been arrested. I'm not committing a crime. There is no victim here. So when no victim here. So when the first chance you put your
no
hands
victim,
on
no
me,
crime. Drink.
I promise you, I will own your ass in that department over there. I promise you that.
What does that mean?
I promise you.
What does that mean?
I promise you that.
Right.
The first time you lay a first time.
What about the second time?
I love this cop.
It's because, like,
I love him.
I think maybe it was in my last video. Oh, it was in my Sovereign Citizen or the Moorish video that I just covered like yesterday, 2 days ago, where the officers were trying to be as accommodating as possible and tried to be as helpful as possible and give as many chances as possible. Where this officer was doing that for like 3 minutes. He's like, oh, yeah, that's not working. I'm just going to give back whatever she throws at me.
It's just the first time you lay a finger on me, I'm going to own your ass. What about the second time? He says.
Yeah.
What about this? What about the second time? Thank you so much, Dee Dee and Buddy, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Ava, back up, Ava. What are you doing laying upside down? Back up. There you go. And Zena. I appreciate that. And Dexter actually is in his spot. I hate to disturb him.
I had to move the camera.
No.
Here you go, my boy. Here you go. There you go. Now you don't have to go nowhere.
Such a good boy. Her listening comprehension skills are lacking. Yes, indeed they are.
It's just one of those things where her mom was bragging, oh, they probably have never dealt with anyone this smart. And it's like, did you watch the traffic stop? They've probably never dealt with anyone so dumb before. Like your daughter had a cardboard plate that said some dumb shit off the internet.
It said exactly this. Any government official who compromises this pursuit of happiness and right to travel will be held criminally responsible and fined, as this is a natural right and freedom. That's what it said.
You do have a right to travel. Get you and your kids out of the car. You got feet. Have fun walking. There's your right to travel. I don't want to pull Sinise versus Roe out, but they did a great 3-step thing of what the right to travel means, and it's not this.
Yep.
You won't. I'll be. Listen.
Honestly, I'm giving you all these chances. Why are you acting?
A chance to do what?
To get out of your car with your children.
Sir, you're trying to steal my car, and you're telling me that if I don't get out my car, that you're gonna kill her. You're trying to steal my car, and you're telling me that if I don't get out my car, that you're gonna kidnap me, and probably planning on kidnapping my kids too. It's not gonna happen.
Does that even make sense to you?
Listen. If you plan on shooting somebody today, then you can get your wish. When you put your hands on me, I promise you, you will have to murder me. You will have to murder me. So go ahead and get ready to do that. You will have to kill me. I promise you. I'll give you this camera, and I want you to make sure you record all of this. Okay? They're going to try to fight me. Do you understand? And I want you to record every part. Do you understand? Yes. They're going to try to fight me. Do you understand? And I want you to record every part. Do you understand? Yes. Don't be afraid.
By the way, the police are going to try to kill me and kidnap you, but don't be afraid. You understand? Don't be afraid.
So this just adds on to, I'm assuming we're going to bring up the lawsuit at the end.
Yeah.
Just for chronological order's sake. The fact that this wasn't used, or I don't know if it was used, or who decided to the lawsuit, the fact that she just said months before she was killed.
Yeah.
Oh,
this was March. She
I'm
gets
gonna
killed in
fight
August.
you. I'm going to fight you. You're going to have to kill me to do anything, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, she just told you that she was not going to give up until death.
She did call it.
Yeah.
And these are 3 male officers for 1 female. 3 of them.
Who's talking about fighting to the death.
Ma'am, are you going to get out?
I will not be getting out. Here, Cody.
Hello? Hello?
Now the window's rolled up.
Bad. It's just an uninsured vehicle. You know that, right?
It wasn't an uninsured vehicle.
You know the whole sovereign citizen and your tag's not a legit tag in any state.
Sir, this is what I have to explain to him. Sir, this is what I have to explain to him. I'm in the middle of suing the government. The government actually came and took my tags off of my car. My car was properly insured. My car was up to date with everything. And I have pictures
Press
of
X
that
to
as
doubt.
well. They left an MVA note, and they also left a number, a case number that never showed up in the system when I called. Okay, I understand exactly the system when I called. Okay, I understand exactly what's going on here, and like I told them, he even admitted on camera that he has seen my car before. So they have been working on this day for a minute now. They know exactly where I live at. I'm not sure if they live at. I'm not sure if they know what they're doing. And they will have to kill me today.
No, nobody wants to
They
kill
will
you.
have to. They will have to,
You
in
know,
front
if
of
you
my
don't get
children
out,
and everything.
you're going to
That's
jail, right?
listen, and they will not kidnap.
You're going
That's
to jail, right?
listen, and they will not kidnap me. They're not going to steal my vehicle, and they're not going to kidnap me the way they think that they are. They're going to have to kill me today, and it's something that they're not going to anticipate, but they will today, and it's something that they're not going to anticipate, but they will. That is exactly what you guys want to do.
No, we will. You realize you're going to jail here soon, right?
Listen, I've never been to jail, and I never will go. You guys will
Always
take
the first
me
time.
away from here in a
By
body
the
bag.
way, I don't think I mentioned it, but she's pregnant with twins right now while this traffic stop is going on. So, yeah.
What
Look
a
at me in
terrible
my eyes.
mother.
I know.
You guys are gonna take me away from here in a body bag. I promise you.
Okay, man. We'll see.
I promise you, you will.
Does she live in Carrico? The one with the fake tag?
Take the kids out of the car and make the air in the car spicy.
If you guys think that you're gonna kidnap me, willingly,
Is someone home for your
shit,
kids?
you crazy.
I'm crazy.
I'm not getting out.
What do you want us to do with your children?
Getting out.
What do you want us to do with your children? You know we're going to send them to
She
a
doesn't
social
care.
worker, right?
Okay.
Can you comprehend that?
Listen, my daughter breastfeeds. My son is it's okay.
That's why
Listen,
hospitals and social
it's
services
okay.
and
Right.
everything.
All right. Okay.
Services and
Right.
everything.
All right. That's fine. I have family that will take care of them, and I have family that know who I am, and I already warned them about this day. Okay. I'm not afraid of y'all. I don't know what the fuck y'all don't get. I'm not scared of y'all.
We're not asking you to be scared. We just want
And I'm not complying to y'all criminal fucking ways. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, we'll see.
We are gonna see. You see these fucking rebels back here live on forever, my nigga. Forever. All right, shit.
I'm agreeing with you. What else do you want to have from me?
I don't like her.
To get away from my car. That's what I want you to do. To get the fuck.
I mean, I would like her more if she wasn't doing this in front of her children and scaring the death out of her, like scaring her kids to death, saying that the cops are going to kidnap you and steal the car. Like, why is she?
She was.
Your
she's
kids
like
are
the
there,
delete
man.
laws. She's delete laws before delete laws was delete laws. She's you're gonna kidnap me. You're gonna steal my vehicle. I'm waiting for her to say the word dungeon in reference to jail, like
Torture cuffs.
What? Yeah, like, ma'am, your car is going to car jail because you have a cardboard plate on the back.
that says any government official who compromises this pursuit of happiness and right to travel will be held criminally responsible and fined, as this is a natural right and freedom.
Away from my car. And find something fucking better else to do.
I'm not the one driving.
Ain't no victim here, and there's no fucking crime going on.
It is a crime.
It is not a crime. That's bullshit. It's all for y'all to get money, and I don't participate in the shit. And y'all not gonna get a fucking dime out me. I'ma sue the shit out of y'all though, and y'all gonna pay for this shit. And y'all gonna pay my kids for the rest of their fucking life for this shit.
Well, one of those things is true.
I hope so too. So too. While y'all fucking burn in hell. All y'all fucking pigs. Yeah, get all that.
You gonna take it? You gonna take the cell phone?
Is she having the kid hold the camera?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She gave the kid the camera and told him to film everything for her Facebook page that we talked about a little bit ago. This is all for Facebook. That's what this is for.
I'm really trying hard to be like, oh man, this shouldn't have happened. This is a tragedy. It's not. It's not.
It's inevitable.
She literally, she wanted this to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
And guess what? Most
It
people
did.
don't remember who the fuck she is.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, did all that work to get killed for absolutely no reason.
Yep.
No, you guys are self-incriminating yourselves. Nobody has presented a delegation.
A question in the chat that you might be able to answer. Whatever happened to Chili?
I don't know. Once he got out of jail, this is going to sound not crazy at all. He did so much time in jail. Once he got out, he kind of just like wasn't the same. And now he's trying to work.
He learned his lesson?
No. I think something happened to it. Like, I'm not trying to be annoyingly, I don't even know. Like, I'm not trying to be funny about it. It seems like something happened to him in jail, whether it was with his cellmate or they were beating the crap out of him or something. You just saw him go downhill. He just started looking depressed, sounding depressed, and he got out and he wasn't the same cocky, like, shit talking guy. He's in butthole rehab. You said it, Weapons, not me. But yeah, I mean, now he's working on a board game that allegedly is misspelled out the ass. And he's like, oh, it's because I'm getting it made overseas. All right, bud. Like, all right.
Okay.
Of authority order. He don't even know what the fuck it is. So who the fuck are y'all? A bunch of fucking gang members plotting on a fucking woman. But whoever sent y'all Whoever sent y'all is. Hey, mama. Hey.
Ma'am, do you want to get out of the vehicle?
Give me a kiss.
You get your children out?
Mommy, love you. Don't cry.
I'm tricking him.
I told you, don't be scared. Huh?
Just to let you know, ma'am, that we have a taser operator coming. Okay, that way we don't have to go hands-on with you.
Don't cry. Stop crying. Cry.
Did he just say they have a taser operator coming? Can't anybody operate a taser?
So yes and no. I talked about this. It's funny. I talked about a lot of things in reference to things like this on my last live stream about that more. Somebody said something about the little fingerprint scanner that some departments have. And then I brought up how not every officer has one of those. Same thing with like the little PBT. Not every officer has one. I believe 10 years ago, maybe not every Baltimore officer had a taser.
Okay.
Because I know some departments are like, hey, yeah, we've got 5 officers and Steve is the only one with a taser. Like everybody probably has pepper spray, but only Steve has the taser. And
Steve's
now
on his
everybody
way.
has a taser. But yes, Steve's on his way, giddy as a schoolgirl.
Yep.
Stop crying.
We have to get you out of this car.
Don't cry. Stop crying. Hey, look at me. What are you afraid of? Remember what I told you? You stop crying, okay? And you let them know that they stole your mother. And they're gonna fight her, okay? Stop crying. Stop crying. Can you shut her door?
So,
What did I just tell you?
John, yes and no. Like where I worked, again, I worked at a police department in the jail portion, not the officer portion. But where I worked, every officer had a taser and every officer was qualified. But I just know that 10 years ago, and Weapons even said it, Baltimore County was broke as shit. Especially after your whole city just got burned down and looted. I don't think there was many businesses paying massive amounts of taxes.
Yep.
So they might not even have, they either didn't have enough or just said, F it, nobody's getting qualified because we can't afford this shit.
Could be.
But it's literally standing there, people holding, you've seen all the things. You have to get tased to carry one and you just get tased, freak out for 5 seconds and you're good to go.
Yep. Oh, thank you so much for being a member for 5 months, Steve Cousins. I appreciate it.
Who just said that? Golfman 489. Horrible mother. I wish people like her stopped getting pregnant. Getting a license to have kids is looking like a great plan more and more every day. Come get the treat, Jaws. There you go. Yeah, because it's like if she didn't have any kids and what happened to her, I wouldn't feel any type of way and I'd cover this and then sleep like a baby afterwards.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she's not only does she have kids who have no mother now, by the way, but also while she was alive, she was teaching them to fight the police, which is not how society works. Like that's not
follow the law, not anything. Just
not good for their well-being to fight the police.
Tell you.
Don't cry.
Don't cry, and you better fight. Y'all need to get away from them. You come up here with me.
Don't grab the baby.
Come on, stop. All right?
Sir.
Stop.
She's trying to use the baby as a shield.
You're not touching the baby, all
She
right?
absolutely is using her children as a shield. And she's telling her 5-year-old to fight the police. You better fight them. Don't be scared, and you better fight them. Her exact
And
words.
I know some people are probably going to cover this live stream that are probably a little more criminal supporter people than us, I guess, how to word that correctly. But if the officer just said, yeah, the officer with the taser is on his way, that way we don't have to go hands on. And then she goes, yep, I'm gonna hold my baby now, who was silent to this point.
Yep.
What is that? That screams to me that she's trying to use the baby as a human shield from being tased.
For sure.
She's a good hit. Stop.
This is my child.
You're gonna
get off of her.
You're gonna
get off of her. Come up here, son.
Okay.
No, don't move from that seat.
Hey,
Stay there.
did you hear what I said? Get up here with mommy.
Hey, buddy.
Get up here with mommy.
Hey, buddy.
You sit right here with mommy. Don't be afraid.
Okay.
You see what they do to us, right? You see what they do to us, right? You fight them.
Okay.
They are not for us.
Okay.
They want to kill us.
She's taking hostages.
And you never, ever back down from them.
Okay.
We don't want to kill you.
Back down from them.
Okay.
We don't want to kill you. We're your friends. We're here
Do
to
you
help
believe that?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're your friends.
He's seen videos of you shooting people that look like his father and shit. So
why,
don't even
why has your 5-year-old seen videos of the police shooting people? Why has your 5-year-old seen the videos of anybody shooting anybody?
Well,
why are you showing your 5-year-old videos of people dying?
This is the thing that I see it all the time because obviously we watch body cams. You're going to kill me. You want to kill me. Sir, if we wanted to do that, we would have done it already. But seeing as how we've waited here for 20 minutes for a tow truck, all signs point to we probably don't want to hurt you, which is probably why we've been really nice trying to coax you out of your car.
It just makes me so angry, the fact that there's children involved. It makes me I'm furious at this woman right now.
to him. And it's not funny. And people that look like his father and shit. So don't even talk to him. And it's not funny. It's really not funny.
The way you're raising your children.
It's really not funny.
It's not.
It's really not funny. Oh, to go against the fucking law that wants to kill them?
To tell them
of course I won't raise a law that wants to kill them.
To tell them
of course I won't raise no submissive ass fucking children. Absolutely not. I don't have to lie to him. I can pull a video up for him right now of you killing people for no fucking reason. People that look like his uncle, people that look like his uncle, his brother, his sister, his anybody.
You just don't realize what you're talking about.
Right. You keep recording. Oh, listen, ain't even a crime being committed. Oh yeah, y'all came to kill some shit today. But it's okay, because I've been waiting for it.
You still have a chance
I've
to get
been
out of your
waiting for
car.
this.
You still have a chance to get out of your car with your children. And walk
Why
down.
would I get out of my car? Why?
You still have a chance to get out of your car with your children. And walk
Why
down.
would I get out of my car? Why would I allow y'all to steal my car? Why?
Ma'am, you still have a chance to get out of your vehicle and walk home with your children. Ma'am, you still have a chance to get out of your vehicle.
They're
and
too
walk home
nice.
with your children. It's right, you live in KFARR.
1000%.
Right there. I'm giving you that opportunity right now. You understand?
I'm giving you an opportunity to walk away.
You don't have that.
And not
you don't
have
that option.
and not have a murder here in Courage Hill
I'm not
today.
gonna murder you. I promise you
Oh,
that.
okay. Well, one of you will.
I'm not gonna do that.
One of you will.
No, we won't.
I promise you, you will. Unless y'all got a horse. Unless y'all got a horse tranquilizer out here, which still won't work. Which
It would
still
work.
won't work. And I promise
Ma'am,
you
you can
that.
get out of your vehicle right
Okay.
now with your children. And
Yeah,
walk
you
home.
wait on that.
Okay, I'm letting you know. You still have that option.
Okay. And you still hold her like that.
Okay.
Alright, let's pull her out. Alright, let's pull her out. I gotta deal with this.
Make sure you record everything. Okay?
Don't wait to watch the baby, bro. Watch the baby.
Exactly. I'll put her down.
Here, come on,
Had that option already?
So that's where the video cuts. The son stopped recording, apparently. So you want to talk about this?
Yeah, I'm just it's frustrating to me because, like, oh, I could pull up a video of you guys shooting someone who looks like their dad or uncle. And it's like, if we're going to play that game, I could show you 12 news articles from any major city of someone like you shooting someone like their father or uncle. So it's like, if we're going to play the statistics game, you're going to lose.
So their father, the kid's father, also had a warrant the day that she ended up getting shot by the police. They were there to serve 2 warrants, one for him and one for her. The warrant for him was for domestic violence against her. So she has a man living with her who her kids watch abuse her.
Question.
According to her.
Was he a sovereign citizen as well?
I don't know.
Because
I can't answer yes or no. I have no idea.
That's
I would
assume. Yeah, that's a normal charge that sovereign citizens normally have, is convictions or something having to do with domestic violence.
Yeah. It really angers me that not only is she showing her 5-year-old videos of people dying, which is just crazy parenting, by the way, insane.
So my kids have watched body cams before, but it's always like, oh, this drunk person acting crazy on the side of the road, and we're just dying laughing at them.
Yeah.
It's not them actually dying.
Yeah. Exactly. She's telling her kids, we watched her tell her kids that the police are there to hurt them, to kidnap them, to kill her, to kidnap them, to steal the car, and then telling her kids, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You better fight them. You're about to get into a physical altercation with a grown man, 5-year-old, but don't be afraid. Make sure you keep filming too, by the way. What? Insanity.
Doesn't make any sense.
Let me address this super chat and then I'll get on to the rest of the story. Thank you so much. All the dogs play dead. Yes, all the dogs are playing dead. Look at this dead dog right here. And that one.
Sit. Where'd you go, Dex? You disappeared, my guy.
Dexter's gone.
Jaws.
There he is. So following this police...
Erica says this is exactly what Josh would have done if he still had custody of his children. And I believe it.
Yeah. I believe it too. While Korryn was in custody following this police encounter, she miscarried her twins. So she had a miscarriage in custody. She was put into solitary. She claims she contacted her mother and claimed that she was mistreated by the jail staff. She was put in solitary confinement. She was not given food. She was not given water. Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't jail cells have like a little sink in there where there's water just on tap?
Yeah. Like where I worked, there was literally, it was on top of the toilet. It was like a whole ass fucking sink.
Yeah, that's what I was
This
thinking.
is what people don't understand. At a jail, more than likely the same kind of jail that she would have been held in, I have to feed you.
Yeah.
Like I have to note exactly what time I feed you and if you took the food or not.
Well, and it doesn't say how long she was in custody, or I couldn't find.
Yeah, and in my head,
But
if
she
in
was just
custody
there a couple hours.
Yeah, if she was just in custody for what we saw here, like not anything crazy, like behind the scenes, she was probably gone the next day. You see the judge says, you're a fucking idiot. Bye. Show up for court next time. And that would have been it. Or pay your tickets.
Exactly. They took her to the hospital when she miscarried, and a few days later she went back to the jail to collect her belongings, because when they released her from custody, they released her straight from the hospital. So she went back to the jail to collect her stuff, and I have that video too. So let's pull that up.
I can only imagine that this is just ridiculous.
Of course it is. And because the fact that she's filming everything.
When people came back to the jail, I was the one who had to get them all of their shit back.
Yeah.
and count their money on the camera to make sure nobody stole anything. They're like, here's your ID, here's your purse, here's your wallet, here's your 4 cell phones. So I've
4
dealt
cell
with some
phones.
I had 3 diamond earrings. Sir, you had 2. You're just trying to get free money. Like, leave.
I think it's interesting that she's filming all this because of the sovereign citizen thing. She's posting these things to Facebook. That's why we have all of this.
I'm not a woman, so I can't say how I would react to having a miscarriage. But the last thing I would do is to be like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to film this for Facebook because I want Facebook clout. That would not be very high on my list of priorities.
Yep. I don't know. I don't know.
This is where I was held hostage. This is where my property was stolen. Hello, sir. I actually called earlier. My name is Korryn Gaines. I was held here for a couple days, from the 10th to, I want to say like the 12th.
Well, a couple of days. So she's claiming she didn't get any food food or water for 2 days, which I find
incredibly unlikely.
Exactly.
Aces, dumb criminals. KFARR, I'm curious, does jail serve expired food or is it donated? We bought sandwiches. Froze them, and because I'm a great human being, we would take them out of the freezer, put them in the fridge, and again, because I'm awesome, I would heat them up to make it like melt the cheese a little bit on your ham sandwich, bologna sandwich, turkey sandwich, give you a cup or 2 of juice.
Well, I'm wondering, she was also a vegan or vegetarian. I'm not sure which, but I'm wondering if they gave her sandwiches and she just refused to eat them because they had bologna or ham in them.
We would get you whatever you wanted. Like if you were we would accommodate.
Yeah.
But like most people would be like, I'm hungry, I'll give me a sandwich.
Well, or just eat the bread and not the meat, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And my property is missing. I have some important paperwork that I don't have.
Officer Paul Connell.
Mm-hmm.
He was the arresting officer.
Right.
So I have a message for him.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know how soon?
Officer Paul Connell.
Mm-hmm.
He was the arresting officer.
Right.
So I have a message for him.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know how soon? Because I'm trying to get my paperwork together. I have court dates and things, and that's very important paperwork that I need.
Right, 'cause I looked in all of our
So keep in mind, this is in March, a few days after she got out of jail from that traffic stop we just watched. And the warrant they were serving in August was
for her not showing up to court.
For her not showing up to this court date. So the family claims, well, she never got her paperwork. But you had from March until August, which is why this video is relevant, because they're saying, well, she never got her paperwork back. But if you have from March until August to call the court and find out when your court date is, how is that their fault? How is it not your own fault?
So they gave her the tickets, which have more than likely would have had the court date on it. Those were in her car. And when she either got the car from impound or went to go get her shit out of her car at impound, I'm pretty sure she would have grabbed the tickets that had that date. She probably received some sort of paperwork for this.
Yeah.
The court probably sent her paperwork to her address
in the mail, yeah,
to make sure she didn't miss it. And even then, ma'am, you had these tickets to take care of. You burying your head in the sand doesn't just make them go away. So it's like her mom is just getting lower and lower on the totem pole for me.
Steve asks, did she really miscarry or make it up? As far as I can tell, the hospital records show that she did have a miscarriage. I don't know if that's from the jail, which I don't know how the jail would cause you to miscarry, or if it was just in God's plan that happened. It happens to a lot of women. Actually, I would venture to say most women have at least one miscarriage in their life. I would venture to say more than like most, meaning 51% or more. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but it happens, and it happens a lot. So, and it's very sad every time it happens. So I'm sure she was, when this is being filmed, she's probably in, grieving the loss of her children at this moment. So just keep that in mind too.
Property and the property back.
Mhm.
Holding area where you were.
Mhm. I'm sure it isn't. It was specifically taken out of here. Discharge papers in a court order. And like I said, this is
Did Dunbar transport you, or did he transport you?
here.
From here to Catonsville.
Actually, what was his name? Officer Richardson?
Richardson.
Big guy. What? He actually traded places with it was what was his name? I'm sorry.
When you were transported.
I'm sorry.
When you were transported.
It was about 1:30. Yeah, it was about 1:30 in the morning.
I'm wondering now if Facebook Live, I have no experience with the Facebook Live, but the way it keeps kind of repeating, I wonder if that's just how it records on Facebook Live, because this video seems to be doing the same thing.
So I'm technically streaming on Facebook right now.
Does it do that? Do you
With
ever
that
go
said,
back
I've
and watch
never
it?
actually watched. Nope, not once.
Yeah,
I
have
probably
no
have
idea.
100 live streams on Facebook and never watched my own stuff.
I've watched Facebook Lives as they're live before, and I've never noticed it. But I'm wondering if you go back and watch it after the fact.
After the fact,
If
yeah.
it does that, because it's weird to me that first one was doing that, and I couldn't find a version that wasn't doing that, and now this one is doing it as well. Thank you for paying your late fee. Everybody else who came in late, it's $2 for your late fee. Don't forget. I appreciate it. The puppers appreciate it for sure. Ava,
I thought that was a lime.
oh, their ball, yeah. They just
Damn, they're just
we can't
out
afford
there chewing
toys.
on limes.
We can't afford toys. We give them limes. Oh, and Zena, if you don't catch it, Ava ends up getting more than her fair share.
Dare now. Dare now.
What a good boy. All right, let's go back to this Facebook Live. Let me know in the chat if you've ever noticed Facebook Live doing that repeating thing that this is doing.
Yes.
Oh. Well, we didn't get too far. We have another one. Thank you so much for the super sticker this time. A fan. I apparently had an alarm set for some reason. Fan character wearing a heart-shaped glasses. Awesome. Super sticker. Oh my goodness. Nina, get your shit together. We're making them all fat today. All of the puppers. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, Steve Cousins.
Yeah. Don't hold up my fucking process. So, look at him. Hello.
Okay, your discharge papers? Is
In the court order. I believe you were the one that showed it to me.
the discharge papers? What's your last name?
Gaines.
Okay. That paperwork was in the locker. You say you never got any of that stuff?
No, sir.
Okay.
Let me see if I know you're talking about now. You was here when I was here. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Because we put it in the property.
Okay.
It gets forwarded to, when you went to the courthouse, you got released on your own recognizance.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you released, you had, I don't know what property you had. I can't remember the actual property you had other than a court document. The officer.
I do have the discharge papers.
You got released on your own recognizance.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you released, you had, I don't know what property you had. I can't remember the actual property you had other than a court document. The officer.
I do have the discharge papers from that night, and that's only because it was given to the officer that transported me to see the commissioner.
Right.
So
basically, you went to the
basically,
hospital twice.
yes, sir. The day I came in.
So you went to hospital discharge papers, what you're asking?
Yes, from the first day. I went to the hospital twice, so I should have 2 discharge papers.
So you went to discharge paper for the first time?
For the first time, and I would like the court order that you showed me. That
you have no court order at all? They gave you nothing?
No.
Okay, let me see if I can find it, okay?
Okay.
I don't know if I believe that she didn't get papers.
Okay. So I didn't know that she went to court. So she saw the judge.
Yeah.
And the judge probably told her exactly the time and date to be back.
Yep.
So this whole, she didn't know excuse is just coming up bullshit.
And here's the thing, even if she didn't know, if she didn't find out in March when she was supposed to be in court, she obviously knows she's supposed to be in court at a future date and has plenty of time to figure that out, right? Like this didn't, the incident that we're about to cover didn't happen till August.
So I know it's 2025 now, and this took place in 2015, 2016. I could literally, if I had her name, I could literally search it up right now. In Maryland?
Yeah. Baltimore County.
Time, date, courtroom, judge, charges.
I don't know if it was like that in 2016.
But it's like if you knew all of this information, it's just one of those responsibility things that sovereign citizens just have no sense of.
They're allergic to responsibility.
Like if you have court, take care of it. Yeah, if you have court, take care of it.
And he the one who showed me the signature page. And they know I need that. Jeez.
I guess we'll just all watch it like this now.
Yeah, you know.
Sovereign citizens, what are you gonna do?
Just continue to waste my time.
That's another way to obtain the shit, right?
They shouldn't have stole it from me.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely, they could. I can retain it, but so can they. The same way they got it so fast, they can get the judge to call it or fax it over to them. That's how they did it to get it. So I don't even understand why they running around looking for it when they can just call it and get that shit faxed. It's very simple. They shouldn't have stole it.
No, they stole it. They stole her paperwork.
Ma'am.
What?
Ma'am, it was in your property.
Yeah.
And I think the whole problem is they're not believing that it wasn't given to you.
Well,
so they're searching around trying to find it just in case it's there.
Just in case it's in
the mail voice
in the back of the cubby where the rest, she obviously got the rest of her stuff. So just in case it fell out of the little bin or however they keep the property, they're making sure. But it's not their responsibility to get it faxed over either, you know?
Yeah. It's like, man, call the court. They'll tell you when your court
Or
date is.
instead of going here, why don't you just go to the courthouse?
Because that would take responsibility.
Yeah.
And if I don't know when his warrant happened, but I'm assuming that's who
Yeah.
she's with. But if he knew he had a warrant and it just wasn't served to him yet, because he was like in hiding, I doubt he would want to show up to the courthouse.
This was in March, and that warrant was executed in August, so it may not have happened yet at this time.
Do you know what his warrant was? You said it was for domestic violence
against her. It was a domestic violence suit or a case that she's the complainant on it.
What a happy family.
Yeah, this poor kid, the kids, just everybody keep in mind that there's
never had a
kids
chance
involved here.
That would be them wasting more of my time if I gotta go to.
Okay, Sergeant Kune is a supervisor for Officer
I'm sorry, could you spell his name for me?
Coughnet. He's a supervisor.
Okay.
Okay, that shift is gone for the day. There's another shift that's working now. I'm checking with the supervisor for that shift to look into paperwork to see if you can find it. Waiting for a call back from him to let me know if they have that paperwork that you're looking for.
Okay, how long will that be taking?
I just he told me he'll call me right back. He's in the process of looking for that. It could be
great.
5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know specifically.
Okay.
But he did tell me he was going to call me back.
Okay, great. I'll be happy to sit here and wait for that call back.
Sure. You want to have a seat?
Sure.
All right. Also, they arrested you. Also, Connell's schedule. I checked the schedule. Also, Connell will not come back till Thursday. All they can find is just your arrest page. Nothing to do with the paperwork that you mentioned. We normally don't keep copies of laptops. Some officers keep copies attached to the paperwork, but he checked what information he had there. He did not see any discharge papers. What I'm going to give you is, well, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to give you, so you know my name, so we talked the other day. Also, Connell's scheduled to come in on Thursday.
Okay.
You call this number, this is this precinct, but again, he comes in on Thursday, that's Officer Connell, that's his ID number.
Okay.
This is my name and ID number, the desk officer.
Okay.
That you spoke to.
Is his supervisor on today?
No, but that's it, the shift, right now, the shift is a new shift. Even though I leave at a certain time, supervisors come in like an hour and a half early. So this supervisor is gone.
Okay.
That whole shift.
Is there any supervisor that I can?
Time supervisors come in like an hour and a half early. So this supervisor is gone.
Okay.
That whole shift.
Is there any supervisor that I can speak to?
A supervisor?
Yes.
You don't want to speak to wait for the supervisor because they're not going to be able to do anything.
I don't want to wait for anything.
Well,
I have an appointment to seek legal counsel, and this is something that was given to me when I was here. And I was told specifically, I actually watched, this was the female cop that helped me use the bathroom. She showed me when I came out to give my fingerprints that she was putting my court order along with my belongings. Okay, now the fact that I don't have that, and that was the last place, you guys were the only ones that were dealing with my paperwork and my belongings.
Did you get your belongings back?
No, I didn't, not all of them.
No. Okay, what property were you missing?
My court order.
Okay, now, besides, let's get that part about it. Did
that
you get your belongings back?
No, I didn't, not all of them.
No, okay, what property were you missing?
My court order.
Okay, now, besides, let's get that part about it. Physical property. What property were you missing?
Those are the things that were my property that are missing. The court order and also the discharge papers.
So the documents. So
absolutely.
Clothing, rings, jewelry, you got everything, whatever you had with you. You did receive that. You're talking about the documents.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. And this is something that you're saying that he comes in Thursday. I have court dates already. Okay. And I need to talk to my lawyer, and these are things that my lawyer has to have. So unless you guys are guaranteeing me that my court dates and everything are going to stop until I receive those documents.
Also, by the way, if she has a lawyer, the lawyer can get the stuff for her. She doesn't have to bring that to
and the lawyer. the lawyer would have it figured out in like 5 seconds. He would just call the court and be like, "Hey, this is my client. When's your court date?" "Oh, cool, thanks."
She might be lying
Yeah,
about
this guy,
having a lawyer.
this supervisor came out and was just like, "Okay, yeah, what are you missing?" Thinking it was going to be like I actually had $1,000 when I came in and I'm missing it. He's like, no, you're just missing paperwork. Why the fuck am I even here?
I would think, like, obviously it would be better for the lawyer if you show up with all the paperwork. It's easier, it makes their job easier. But if you don't have that stuff, it's like the lawyer's assistant will make a couple of phone calls or get on the little tippy tap on the computer and
it wouldn't
figure
be
it
the
out.
end of the world.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the end of the world if you didn't bring your court date.
She's
to
acting
the
as if the whole case is stalled because she's missing one piece of paper.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I'm going to just throw this out there. If she has a lawyer, it's probably the public defender who probably has the prosecutor or the assistant prosecutors on speed dial. It could easily be like, "Oh yeah, what's her court date? Oh, next Tuesday at 9 a.m. Okay, cool. See you there."
The lawyer would have the legal assistant call the prosecutor's legal assistant, and they would figure it out in the matter of 15 minutes. 2 emails back and forth, probably.
So that I can have the correct amount of time to seek my counsel, then that's fine. If you can guarantee that because my court dates are in April.
The only dealings I have with you personally is me working.
Exactly. That's why I'm trying to ask you. Exactly. That's why I'm asking for a supervisor. Someone that can address what's going on. If you can't address what's going on, then I need to. No, you're not addressing it. You're telling me that I have to wait, and that's not acceptable.
Would I get a supervisor? Okay?
Thank you.
He's addressing it, but not. She's not getting the answers that she wants. Is the issue here?
She wants the answers either. Yeah, we're gonna drop this until we can get you your paperwork, or let me drop what I'm doing right now and go find this paperwork that may or may not exist in this building.
She thinks it's going to be case dismissed because they lost her paperwork. If they even lost her paperwork, by the way, which is, I don't know if I believe her in that.
Legal division. If you have any shit, because she said, this was about, just talk to the supervisor. They told me to give you the number to legal, you contact legal, have your attorney call our legal section, and they can work it out with regarding that.
Okay, so why isn't the supervisor here to speak with me?
Well, I'm the middleman. Okay, I don't make the decisions.
Okay, but even that answer is unacceptable. We just went through this. Why should I have to take my time out to do that when my stuff was here? Okay, that's still wasting my time. And this is the time that I should be sitting with my lawyer and discussing how we're going to go about this case. You guys are you're basically you're sabotaging my case with doing this.
I have nothing to do with you. When I spoke to you when you was here last time, I was totally honest with you.
I understand you have nothing to do with this. That's why I'm asking you for your superior.
And I did that. If I go to my supervisor and they tell me to tell you something. Last time, I was totally honest with you.
I understand you have nothing to do with this. That's why I'm asking you for your superior.
And I did that. If I go to my supervisor and they tell me to tell you something, that's my boss.
And you can go back. Okay, and I'm your boss. You guys are a public servant, okay? Now I'm requesting, sure, yes. I'm requesting you to get your supervisor here so that I can speak with him directly, okay? Obviously. Okay. Can I hear her say that?
Supervisor said no.
Because I'm sure that you don't, I'm sure she doesn't want you to say that on this camera. I know she don't want you to speak for her. So if she could come out here and she can deny my request to speak with her, I'm not going to take your word for it. Okay?
She told me to give you that information, and I'm doing
okay.
what she told me.
Okay, and can you ask her to make sure, I want to get that on camera, that she does not want to speak with me, because I can't take your word for it, because when we go to court, she can easily say that she did not. Because I can't take your word for it, because when we go to court, she can easily say that she did not say that. And you are a credible person, okay? I'm trying to speak to a absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Well, ma'am, I'll say you have one for that. There's nothing else. She's not coming out to talk to you. I'm just telling you she's not. So
okay.
That's the number. You have my name.
Okay, so you're saying that you guys don't have the court order and you don't have the discharge papers?
I'm telling you what I've told you earlier. Everything I told you, and I addressed the issue with my supervisor.
Okay.
The supervisor told me to have you.
And I have yet to speak to that supervisor.
And that supervisor told me to reiterate that information.
And who is her supervisor? I would like to speak to her supervisor.
Oh my goodness.
I would like to speak to her supervisor.
She's Karen.
Whoever's over
She's
her
Karen.
head, that's who I need to speak to.
She's not, the supervisor's not stopping what she's doing right now to talk to you about missing paperwork when the answer that you're going to get is the exact same as what these other two officers have told you.
We've already been through this. The supervisor is going to come out and she's going to say, okay, well, I need this paperwork. Okay, cool. We'll have your lawyer contact the prosecutor's office and they'll let you know your court.
Yeah.
Thank you, though. I'm going to get back to real work.
Yeah.
Have fun being a Karen. Bye.
Because obviously you or her aren't aware of your job title or what you're supposed to be doing right now. Okay, when someone asks or demands to speak to your supervisor, you have to speak to that supervisor.
And that supervisor told me to reiterate that information.
And who is her supervisor? I would like to speak to her supervisor.
Excuse me?
I would like to speak to her supervisor. Whoever's over her head, that's who I need to speak to, because obviously you or her aren't aware of your job title or what you're supposed to be doing right now. Okay, when someone asks or demands to speak to your supervisor, and your supervisor, not only do you not get her out here, she is refusing to come out here, you guys are going against everything that you guys stand for. Okay, do you remember the oath that you took? Do you? Does she know it? Does she know it? No, don't. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Listen, that's unacceptable. Okay, we already know that.
I'm just reiterating what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm in the middle.
So she's not going to come out. Okay. Okay.
She's not going to talk.
You go back and I addressed the issue with the supervisor.
Okay, well, that's fine.
And then this is what she told me.
Okay.
When this young lady was here last time.
This poor cop. This poor cop is like, can I
my
go back to eating donuts, please?
Yeah, my supervisor's busy. She told me to tell you this.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank
I
you
need
very
you
much,
to talk to your
Doc.
supervisor.
I want the manager now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like,
oh man,
just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like you got your answer. You were unhappy with your answer, so now you're trying to like mom and pop the police department. Sit. There you go, doofus.
You got to get the good treats out.
Yeah, that's why I just gave him one of the good treats.
All right.
Met it in
I'm
the
going to
middle.
give mine some good treats too. Thank you very much for the 10 gifted memberships over there on the KFARR channel. That's a good treat. And a good treat for you. Oh, I threw that poorly. We appreciate all of the support you guys give us.
And contrary to what sovereign citizens believe, just because you cry about a supervisor does not mean that by law the supervisor has to come talk to you.
Obviously, you don't know your job if you are not getting the supervisor's supervisor.
Yeah, you don't know that you're a public slave and you have to do everything I say. Like, man,
She
you're a
said that you work.
citizen.
She said you work for me. The cop's like, well,
Yeah,
I
it's
work
like,
for the
ma'am,
supervisor, and this is what the supervisor's
gonna-
telling me.
Gonna go with normal sovereign citizens here. Most of them don't pay taxes. Therefore, you don't pay their salaries. Therefore, they don't really work for you, do they? If you don't pay taxes in the city that you live in, then like me passing through and buying a stick of gum helps out their police department more than you do.
To be fair, this woman did have a job. She was a hairstylist, so I assume she did pay taxes. But it still doesn't mean that.
Allegedly.
It still
I know
does
some.
not
I know some
mean-
hairstylists that work out of their house.
That's true. But it doesn't, even if she paid a boatload of taxes, even if she paid as much taxes as Mr. Zed and I pay, doesn't mean that the cops work for her.
Yeah, you don't get to like the next tier where it's like
Exactly.
they have your phone number and they call you directly and ask for advice.
Exactly.
When I spoke, I was very fair with her. She knows me. The whole time I was here. Totally fair with her. I talked to her, the whole time she was here. The whole time she knows.
And you don't have anything to do. Exactly.
She wanted to speak to the
And I am entitled to that.
I'm not saying that she's not going to get the information.
Right.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying she may get everything she's asking of.
Right.
However, the officer who was the arresting officer is not into that.
That has nothing to do with my belongings. I'm asking for his supervisor. I've asked for your supervisor. No supervisor has come out and talked to me. Okay, now you're sitting here, you don't have anything to do with this. So you can't offer me the correct.
I'm being told to do something, I'm following.
Exactly, and I specifically asked you who is her supervisor. Right.
If I'm being told to do something, I'm following.
Exactly, and I specifically asked you who is her supervisor.
Like I just said, if you want, I will go back and I will see if the shift commander will come back to talk to you.
Absolutely, and I would like to know who her supervisor is. And what is her name?
Right there for you.
Please, thank you. Because she needs to be reported, seeing as though that she won't report out here to when her presence is being demanded. Yeah, she needs to.
Her what?
Her presence is being. She needs to be reported because she didn't report when her presence was being demanded, I believe is what she said.
This is like going to the gates of the White House and saying, I demand the president to come out to talk to me right now. And then him yelling, nah, and then going about his day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure they have better things to do in that office than deal with some crackpot sovereign citizen.
Well, he just
who is going to stop paying taxes very shortly.
He just said that he would get the shift commander. He would ask if the shift commander would come out because the supervisor's busy doing other work. Whatever, they're in Baltimore. I'm sure there's a lot of policing. There's a lot of policing going on in Baltimore.
Shift supervisor. Yeah. They ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
I rarely ever saw a police supervisor or shift supervisor leave their office.
Yeah. They're not coming out to talk to her either, but he said he'd ask. Which is all this guy can do, really.
Okay, this is Sergeant.
Fuck you, lady. That's what he's writing down.
That's an ID number 5134.
Is there any reason why she wants to know and speak to her?
Because, like I said, I'm just being told. I don't know, but when you employed.
Why
she just told me, I don't question if this is what she told me. She said to give the information to Helen call legal. I'm just reiterating what I was being told. I will go back. I will talk to the shift to let her know that the shift, you want to talk to the shift commander.
Absolutely.
They may or may not come out and talk to you.
Okay.
And it's going to be.
But I just want to make it be known that I am asking to speak with them.
It was addressed the first time, but I'll go back again.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my goodness.
So his direct supervisor said, here, give them the number to legal and have them call them.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
What else do you want? Do you want them to like reach into their butthole and pull out paperwork that's not there?
Yeah, that's what she said at the beginning of it, that she wanted them to call the courthouse and have the courthouse fax it over. Man, why don't you call the courthouse and have them fax it to you? Like what?
You have the court's number, right?
Yeah.
They can fax it to you. One of the clerks can probably shoot you a quick email, like superdipshit@gmail.com. Like, yeah, this date, this time, be there.
Yep, exactly.
It's all shit that she could be doing herself, but instead she wants to harass the police department.
Oh man, it's so aggravating. So we get to August 1st, 2016. On August 1st, 2016, Korryn.
Wait, did you say August 1st?
August 1st. Why?
That was the day I got out of the Navy.
On August 1st, 2016?
It was a great day.
I bet. I don't know what I was doing August 1st, 2016, but I'm sure it was something. Korryn and her boyfriend.
I was golfing. It was great.
Her boyfriend Kareem and Korryn were home at their apartments with Cody and Carson. Carson was the little baby that we saw. Cody was the 5-year-old. At the Carriage Hill Apartments on Sulky Court. The police approached to serve warrants on both her and Kareem. For her, it was the warrant for... let's see. It was the warrant for this police stop that we just watched. And for Kareem, it was a warrant for domestic violence that she had filed against him sometime in the interim. Kareem, when the police came, Kareem took the younger Carson outside and surrendered to the police, got his warrant served, all of that. Korryn instead locked herself in the apartment and hit the live button on Facebook. She was interacting with her followers on Facebook who were encouraging her not to follow police commands.
That is insane to me, that whatever she was facing, it was traffic.
Yeah.
Which means they're minor.
Yeah.
And the guy that was like, oh, domestic violence. Yeah. I'll be right outside.
Yeah,
You're good.
exactly.
What kind of logic is that? Like, oh, ma'am, you didn't register your vehicle. You had a fake plate. Nope, you're gonna go down, blaze of glory over a legitimate traffic ticket.
Well, and Corey, the 5-year-old, Kareem started to take Corey out as well, but he broke loose from dad and ran back inside of the apartment with mom. So that's why the kids
Yeah,
were
because someone had to film it while she was shooting.
Yeah, exactly. So she was also during this time talking to a hostage negotiator. The standoff lasted 6 hours. 6 hours. And during this time, like I said, she was on Facebook Live. And I think I have that. I have clips of that.
Our dogs are laying the exact same way.
They're so cute. They're so adorable. Here is, let's see if I can make this bigger. Here's a little snippet from that Facebook Live that was taken during the 6 hours. There was little, it was on and off. So there's little snippets of the Facebook Live that I found. It wasn't one straight Facebook Live. So here's part of it.
What's happening right now? Who's outside?
The police.
And what are they trying to do? It's charging. What are they trying to do?
They trying to kill us.
I'm sorry, dear. I can hear you say no.
It's good. Do you want to go out there?
No.
Oh. Okay. What do you want to do?
This.
It's no wrong answer. What do you want to do?
So if you missed that, the child said, mom asked, what are the police trying to do? And the child said, they're trying to kill us. So this is not something that the child got of his own volition. This is something that's been ingrained in him since he was a baby, I would assume. We saw her in the car with him a few months earlier, right? Korryn told throughout the 6 hours, she repeatedly told the police that she was armed and was going to shoot them. Crazy thing to say to the police when they're at your door. Eventually, the police got a key from the rental office and were able to open the door, but the chain, like the little, like on most doors, maybe not most doors nowadays, but back then, the little chain that you would see in like a hotel room door or something, that was on. So the police did have to like bust in the door. When they did, they came around the corner and saw her pointing the gun right at them. So they backed up, went back around the corner, and the standoff continued. Like I said, she really told them that she was going to shoot them. And they saw that she was pointing a shotgun at them. So when the door was finally breached, the police came in. They saw Korryn, like I said, pointing the gun at them still. And the police fired one shot towards Korryn. It's unknown if that first shot hit her or not. But when that first shot went off, then she returned fire with the shotgun towards the police, and the police opened fire, firing 3 more shots that did hit her. And one of the shots did hit the boy as well. The sweet child on the screen right now was shot by the police because of, I'm so angry over this. I'm like shaking right now. He did survive. Korryn did not survive. He did survive. It hit him in the cheek. but it didn't like break any bones or anything in his face. So it kind of grazed his cheek. They don't know if it was a like a ricochet or not, or if it was a direct shot. They also at first thought maybe it was her when she shot at the police. They weren't sure if it was her shot that ricocheted and hit him.
Now, the Gaines family has filed a lawsuit against the county, calling the killing illegal and unconstitutional. Reporting live tonight, Avajoy Burnett, WJZ Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Avajoy.
Maybe I should start that at the beginning. Oops. So yeah, here's the news story from that night. Any second now.
New videos released tonight in the fatal shooting of an armed Baltimore County woman killed during a 6-hour standoff with police. Our media partner, the Baltimore Sun, was first to report the story after obtaining the videos. WJZ is live. Avajoy Burnett has the dramatic footage. Avajoy?
Denise, good evening. This new video shows the intense moments leading up to that deadly encounter.
This is for anybody who want to know what I'm doing.
Videotaping an apparent shotgun in her hand, Korryn Gaines records herself holed up in her apartment.
So yeah, you can see her there sitting on the floor with a shotgun pointed at the door. So when, like I said, I don't know if you heard what I was saying, she kept telling the police that she was armed and going to shoot them. And when they first breached the door, they came around the corner, saw the shotgun and retreated. And then the standoff lasted 6 hours.
Yeah, it just,
and she
like I
repeatedly
said,
I'm going to shoot you if you come in here.
Yeah, if you jump way back at the beginning of the video, she's been saying this for 6 months, that they're going to have to kill her, that she's going to get violent, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, maybe that's why the officers reacted how they did.
I assume longer than that, judging from what has been said about her Facebook page. So
and since when is serving a warrant? It's not like they knocked this chick in the middle of the day or in the middle of the night.
No.
Last I checked, knocking on your door and said, ma'am, you and your baby daddy both have warrants.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys should take care of it. That's not unconstitutional.
Is it like 9 in the morning?
Yeah. The fact that your daughter shot at cops, that's more unconstitutional than saying, hey, ma'am, here's this piece of paper. Can you take it, please? Thanks.
Yep.
Their 5-year-old son.
But the devil at my door, and he's refusing to leave.
Baltimore County officers were serving a misdemeanor warrant on 23-year-old Gaines at her apartment back in August when they say she threatened officers with a shotgun.
Young lady, you got your whole life ahead of you.
In this video, you can see what appears to be the barrel of a shotgun and then hear an officer trying to resolve the situation.
You and I are going to talk until we come to an agreement. We bring everybody out safe, and you and I will have a sit down. Because you know, and I know that this ain't right.
It's not. I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I've never hurt anybody. We've been quiet a while, so they plotting to come in here and disturb the peace here. They've already disturbed the peace. I'm not a criminal.
An officer, only identified as Officer First Class Ruby, exchanged gunfire with Gaines, killing her and injuring her son. The Baltimore County State's attorney determined the shooting was justified. Now, the Gaines family has filed a lawsuit against the county, calling the killing illegal and unconstitutional. Reporting live tonight, Avajoy Burnett, WJZ Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Avajoy. No charges were filed against the officers involved.
No charges were filed against the officers involved.
So, yes, you're spot on with this. Another disgusting family looking for a payday. Oh, yeah. It's illegal that you killed her. No, it's illegal that you guys as her family didn't take action or take steps to fix her. I know personally, if I saw a family member going down a domestic terrorist rabbit hole, I would say, hey, let's say I have a relative named Steve. Hey, Steve, can you fucking not?
Yeah.
Like, do we have to like cut your internet, take your phone away before you're like, oh shit, the Constitution's a real thing. Laws are a real thing.
Yeah.
Like I 1000% blame the family. This is the exact same thing as all of these other shootings where the parents don't want to blame their child because they're looking for a payday.
Exactly. So here's what the police had to say about the whole incident just after.
This morning at 9:20 a.m., several of our warrant squad members, along with a uniformed officer, responded to the unit block of Sulky Court, S-U-L-K-Y Court in Randallstown to serve several several arrest warrants on a female and male subject that resided in that apartment. The male was wanted for assault, and the female was wanted on an arrest warrant for failure to appear on cases related to an incident March of this year, where she was charged criminally with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and numerous other traffic charges. Officers repeatedly knocked on the apartment door. They heard inside the apartment the voices of a male and a female and a crying child. They repeatedly identified themselves as police officers, announcing their presence and their intent to serve arrest warrants at that location. No one answered the door. But again, these voices could be heard. These officers stood in that position for approximately 10 minutes trying to get the occupants to answer the door. There was a point in time where one of the officers obtained a key to enter the apartment. Upon opening the door slightly, the officers could clearly see a female seated on the floor that they recognized to be the female wanted in the arrest warrant. It was at that point the officers determined that the female was wielding around with a shotgun, pointed it at one of the three officers. At that time, she had a 5-year-old in her arm as well, seated on the floor. The officers retreated, took a position of cover and safety in the hallway outside the apartment, immediately summons tactical personnel who began hours-long dialogue with the individual. During that dialogue and conversation, she repeatedly pointed a long gun at the police officers, the tactical personnel. My personnel showed great firearms restraint during this dialogue. There was a point at around 3 p.m. this afternoon that the suspect in this case, a Korryn Gaines, pointed again the shotgun, the long gun at our personnel, advised them that if they did not retreat or leave, she was going to kill them. Perceiving not only her actions, but the words she used, we discharged one round at her. In turn, she fired several rounds back at us. We fired again at her, striking and killing her. Tragically, in this circumstance, the child that was also in the dwelling was struck by a round. We do not know at this moment in time whether or not that round was fired by our weapons or by the weapons possessed by Miss Gaines. That child has been transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening wounds and is being treated at this time.
So, how crazy is that?
Well, it just shows, like, if the officers, it just kills me. If the officers wanted to, they could have just ran up, shot her, and called it a day.
Yeah.
But instead, they, like, backed off twice.
They tried to
managed to get the guy out, brought in a negotiator, ended up going in, getting shot at, and then they returned fire. And it's like, what did you want them to do?
Well, apparently the jury decided they wanted the police to do something different too, because this went to court. And
well, if it was a jury of her peers, I don't mean to call out the city of Baltimore, but we just saw them all robbing places and burning their own city down. So clearly they're not exactly the most intelligent people they could find.
Yeah. So let me know in the chat, what do you think happened? If you already know, don't answer. But how do you think this lawsuit went for the family of Korryn Gaines? Because for me, I was stunned after hearing how it played out.
If all of the officers that got shot at by her should have filed lawsuits against her estate, the apartment complex should have filed a lawsuit to get any money back to do anything for their apartment from her estate. I would have milked that family fucking dry because they deserved $0.
I think so as well, but that's not how it turned out.
The family of Korryn Gaines, the 23-year-old black mother of two, who was shot by Baltimore County Police Department in August, has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the department and Officer First Class Ruby, the officer who fired the fatal shot.
Now, many will ask, why are we filing this lawsuit when the government hasn't finished their investigation?
He should be disbarred.
The state's attorney's office hasn't finished their
Yeah. By the way, they filed this, like he said, before the investigation was even, the blood was not dry yet, and they filed this lawsuit.
Because I can't say that, but there's a guy running around right now. I think you know who I'm going to refer to. I'm not going to use his name.
No, please don't.
He's an absolute leech on society that just goes from criminal shooting to criminal shooting, trying to leech off of anything he can.
Yeah.
But none of these guys who filed these lawsuits, they should all be disbarred. The moment the court and everybody came back, it's like, that was a justified shooting. This case should have right into the garbage.
Exactly.
investigation, and when the police haven't finished their investigation. Well, we respond by saying that if we trusted the government and the police department to conduct a proper investigation, then we would have waited. However, we don't leave the results of the investigation in a matter as important as this solely within the hands of the police department. From our investigations, that Officer Ruby, when he shot Ms. Gaines, he did not shoot her because he was in fear that she posed a threat to himself or other officers. They had been with Ms. Gaines for approximately 7 hours. He shot Ms. Gaines out of frustration, and that is not a legitimate basis for shooting and killing an individual.
The Real News attended the police department's initial press conference days after the events, where they gave their accounts of what happened. Police said they arrived on the scene, that they made identification via voice, that Korryn Gaines and Kareem Courtney were inside the apartment. The family and the family's attorneys earlier this week contradict everything that the police department has said because of one man, Ramon Coleman.
What makes you believe that you could succeed with a lawsuit in Baltimore County?
Great question. 2 words: Ramon Coleman, who was also a victim in this tragedy. Ramon Coleman heard these officers utter, "I'm sick of this SHIT."
Things are going well, up and down. There were times when we thought this would come to a peaceful resolution, closure. There were other times that she was highly agitated. The entire time, throughout the afternoon, she repeatedly would point the weapon at our personnel, and they maintained firearms discipline throughout those numerous incidents.
My condolences goes out to her family, and I'm gonna just make this real short. Should have used better tactics to get out the apartment. No one should die like that under a misdemeanor warrant. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
So you have an apartment, there's you walk into the apartment, then there's an open area and there's a kitchen. The officer spent the entire time outside, just outside that doorway. They did not cross the threshold into the apartment.
Ramon Coleman's home was commandeered and seized by the Baltimore County Police without his permission, consent, or volition. They detained him within his home, told him he couldn't leave. He was present with his daughter while they brought in all of this equipment, surveillance equipment, to monitor Korryn Gaines, who was his next door neighbor.
Now, Baltimore County Police initially say that they were outside of Korryn
In case you're wondering what's going on here, this person lived in the adjacent apartment, and they went into his apartment and drilled a hole in the bathroom wall to see what was going on in this hostage situation, which is a normal thing to do when there's a hostage situation.
Seems like pretty good tactics that he
Yeah.
just shit on. I wonder what his
Yeah.
qualifications are.
Yeah, none, zero.
None? No.
He lived there.
So his argument should have been Kobe'd right the fuck into the trash.
Yeah.
They should have used better tactics. Nobody should die like that during a misdemeanor warrant. Clearly the tactics were doing pretty good because they got the guy with the actual warrant to go, yep, I'm coming out.
Yeah. And she had a misdemeanor was traffic warrant.
Yeah, maybe if you had misdemeanor resisting and like obstruction or whatever the fuck they said,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you shouldn't point a shotgun at officers with your kid right there.
Yep.
But hey.
Gaines' house.
I'm playing this because we need to hear both sides of the story. So we're listening to both sides of the story now.
Serve an arrest warrant for not just her, but for her fiance, Kareem Courtney.
And you could talk about me, talk about her. It really don't matter to me. But I mean, come on, if this was your child, your daughter, your wife, your mother, I guarantee you wouldn't feel the same way.
Try to get the occupants to the front door. They heard a female's voice. They heard a male's voice. They heard a crying child inside the apartment.
Hearing noises and voices from inside of the house, our law says is not enough to satisfy reasonable belief. There must be more.
After approximately 10 minutes, they retrieved a key from apartment management, turned the lock, door opens slightly, and is secured by the standard security chain.
And then the events that flowed therefrom was the direct and proximate cause of Carriage Hill Apartments offering the police the keys to enter this residence and violate Korryn Gaines' constitutional rights.
And we also reached out to Baltimore County Police for a statement. Baltimore County Police said they cannot comment on an ongoing litigation.
There are a lot of moving parts to this thing. There are First Amendment issues. We all know that you have the right to record a police officer in the performance of his...
That's not why she was shot.
Nobody said you couldn't. Nobody said you couldn't.
They didn't say, put the camera down or we're going to shoot you. I'm
Nope.
pretty sure it happened when she pointed the shotgun at them.
He said, put the gun down or we're going to shoot you. Was what, yeah.
Like,
what they said. Yeah.
That is, you have the right to video record a police officer in the performance of his public duties or her public duties.
And it's not just us, it's every family member that has suffered the same fate. We're all connected. We're all connected. This is not an isolated incident that just happened in Baltimore County. This is something that's going on nationwide. And nationwide, police reform needs to occur and people need to be held accountable.
For continued coverage on Korryn Gaines, this story.
Yeah. So that happened. And we're running long here. So let's just wrap up what happened in this lawsuit with a quick video.
Justice for Korryn Gaines. It's been more than 5 years or Cody Gaines rather, since his mother was killed right in front of him and he was wounded.
Thanks for staying with WJZ at 5:30 tonight. I'm Rick Ritter.
I'm Nicole Baker. Now, Korryn Gaines was killed by a Baltimore County police officer during a standoff.
This is a story WJZ has been following for quite some time. Tonight, attorneys, they are still seeking payment. And we're talking about that record payment that a jury already awarded Cody.
That's right. WJZ is live in Towson tonight. Paul Gessler spoke with Korryn Gaines' attorney today and tells us what is next in this case. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Nicole and Rick, you and I were in this courtroom throughout the course of that civil trial here a few years ago as well. That settlement for Korryn Gaines' family was reached back in August, but attorneys for the county and Gaines' now 10-year-old son will appear back in court here on Friday morning in a continuing legal battle over a $32 million judgment granted by a jury.
$32 million. $32 million, KFARR.
If this happened if this didn't happen in a gigantic city, the jury would have been like, oh no, she's a dumbass. She deserved that.
I don't
Here's
understand.
Here's a nickel for the. Well, I just like I said, they were out burning and stealing from their own city, so they're not exactly the most intelligent of people.
I just don't know how any jury could watch what we just watched. That the body cam, or not the body cam, the video that she took of the police pulling her over that led to the warrant, and then her with the shotgun in her lap filming herself pointing it at the police. How do you give that $37 million?
Between the video of what she was saying in the car, what she was saying before, like once her baby daddy left, like at what point does somebody say, yeah, they're going to have to kill me to get me to obey the law? And then you point a gun at them and think, oh, they shot her for no reason.
Yep. Yeah, this was not a settlement, by the way. The city fought this and lost, is what happened here.
That is absolutely crazy to me.
Yep.
In 2016, Baltimore County Police shot and killed Korryn Gaines, a 23-year-old mother, during a standoff. Police went to her Randallstown apartment to serve warrants on a failure to appear in a traffic case and on her fiancé for an assault charge. After 6 hours, a county police officer fired through a wall, killing Gaines and wounding her 5-year-old son.
Not just that he was shot twice, but he watched his mother die in front of him.
No criminal charges were filed against that officer, but in 2018, a Baltimore County jury awarded the Gaines family $38 million. A judgment overturned, but later reinstated by an appeals court. So far, the county has only reached a settlement with Korryn Gaines' estate of $3 million. The $32 million judgment for her son remains unpaid.
Do survivors of police hostility, do their lives matter?
A county spokesperson said they've reached out with a settlement offer, saying in part
This was not police hostility. What are you talking about? And here's the thing that gets me. There are cases of bad police doing bad things. And you know what this sort of shit does to that? It makes it irrelevant in the minds of the American public. When you're giving Korryn Gaines' family $37 million when a cop actually does something bad and actually the person deserves some sort of settlement, people don't want to give it to them. They're sick of the bullshit.
Yeah, it's just a normal person would look at this and think, oh no, this person's an idiot. She deserved it. I feel nothing towards this. Like a normal person would look at this and go, yeah, okay, a crazy sovereign citizen died by her own hand. I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight.
Like, I think I said this to you via text earlier today. I could see the son getting something, and the only reason why is because he did nothing wrong, and he ended up getting injured in this thing. So I don't know if it's the police had bad aim or what happened, but the son does deserve something, not $37 million.
Yeah. He should sue his mother.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, they sued the apartment complex for giving the cops the keys too, which is crazy to me.
If that's the case, if I would, okay, you want to play that game? Cool. You had two people with warrants who wanted to have a shootout with the police in my apartment complex. I'm suing you for every single penny you're worth.
Yeah.
And again, the jury in Baltimore may have disagreed with that, but any other person would be like, oh yeah, those people were shitbags. Why'd they try to do that? Give the apartment complex all your money.
Like, honestly, I used to think that Chicago had the most corrupt just government in general. I'm beginning to think Baltimore has the most. It beats out Chicago's for corrupt.
And then the media, like, I hate how they're dishonest to push a narrative. And it's like,
yeah,
I haven't heard very many times of, oh yeah, she had a warrant and she was pointing a shotgun directly at the police while trying to hand her a piece of paper.
Yep. Yeah. And even if they were going to take her into custody for traffic tickets, which I don't know if that even was their what they were going to do there. Yeah. Even so, it was for misdemeanor traffic tickets. What are we doing here? And Baltimore also is the county that let Adnan Syed, which is another case that I covered, let him out of prison on some bullshit. Yeah. He murdered his girlfriend. Yeah. It's just a lot of bullshit in Baltimore.
John Crap, just getting here. You're a resident, Baltimore resident. I genuinely feel sorry for you.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That you have to deal with extremely dumb people.
Yeah.
remained committed to doing right by the family of Korryn Gaines, demonstrated by reaching a resolution with her estate. And they made a significant offer to resolve this claim higher than what they believe the court may award under the law. There are liability caps for state claims, but attorneys argue those don't apply since this was under a federal statute.
This 10-year-old child who was injured at the age of 5 has been carrying this.
I wonder how much he got paid.
Oh, this guy in the hat?
Yep.
A lot. All of
I
these
wonder
people,
how much he.
all of the people in that first, or the video that we watched just before this, that were on the panel, all of those people, the only reason they're there is for the money. They don't give a shit about
I bet
Korryn
you.
Gaines. They don't give a
I
shit.
bet you, the family spokesperson. I think he got paid.
Oh, I'm sure.
The neighbor. I'm probably pretty sure that he got some sort of payout.
Yep. John Lind. Oh, you have no idea. But yeah, this is where I live. And now y'all know why I am the way I am.
5 years.
Again, the next court hearing set for Friday morning here at 9:30. Reverend Al Sharpton is set to attend with the Gaines family to continue to try to apply public pressure to Baltimore County officials. For now, reporting live in Towson.
Reverend Al Sharpton saw a paycheck and is like, I better get my ass over to Baltimore.
If Al Sharpton genuinely wanted to like make a difference, he would go to these cities and say, hey, can we stop shooting each other and stop pulling guns on the cops?
Yeah.
But here we are.
So did you have anything to add? That's all I have.
No.
I'm thoroughly angered now. I hope all of you out there watching right now are as angry as I am. That was my goal.
Yeah. This was a good live stream. It's now going to make me find a sovereign citizen video and do that tonight.
Yes, do that for sure. Or more. We're not sure which she was. So I really think she had just started dipping her toe into those waters and wasn't exactly sure what she was yet. But she did.
And she went
bring up the
from
right
zero
travel.
to fanatical like that. From, I don't like this happening in my city to you're going to have to kill me to get me to take responsibility for breaking the law.
Yeah, exactly. So the next time you'll see us, well, you might see KFARR before that. He streams like every night now. I don't know what's happening, but you'll see us together on Wednesday night at 8:00 for Booze and Body Cams, which will be a much more cheerful show than this one, I hope.
Yeah, or maybe Tuesday as well if Weapons post a bunch of videos.
It is possible. The Tuesday shows are always a surprise. We don't even know until Tuesday morning.
Until Tuesday.
Yeah. So just make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button if you don't want to miss it. If you are here and you like what we've done tonight, please hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm. And comment down below. I know you're commenting in the chat right now, but having the comments on the actual live stream also helps. And KFARR hates to say it, but I don't mind. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. That's it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, wait, I wasn't ready. All right, try that again. Bye, guys.
Bye.